Welcome to Breakdown. Today is a Wednesday, July 26, 2023. JJ, a lot of stuff going on in the world of college sport. Big Ten versus the SEC. We're going to touch on something that's happening. What you want to start with?
Well, I think, in the previous podcast, we said we're going to focus on three specific schools. We're going to do Michigan State, and Arkansas. I think we should start this podcast focused on one of those schools. What school you want to do?
But we got to say the best for last. So, we're going to do Arkansas last. So, we can do number one. Who's number one?
Well, we can do the number 2 or 3 team in the country. We'll go with the Michigan Wolverines.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're not a bad team. So,
can Michigan three-peat?
Win the Big Ten 3 times in a row.
Can they do it?
Yes, they can.
They can.
And I tell you why.
But will they? That's one of the things we'll discuss later on the podcast.
Okay.
But yeah, for the first time since 2019, a team other than Ohio State is favored to win the Big Ten. And that's the Michigan Wolverines.
Okay.
They got 27 of the 37 votes. Ohio State got 8, and the other 2 went to Happy Valley or college, or what they call it?
Wait a minute. Didn't Northwestern get 1?
I don't think they got 1 win all of last season.
Okay.
That was the one.
Well, they had more than 1 win last season, but that's what they might get this season.
No, they only had 1.
Northwestern?
And it was not in America. They won 1 game last season.
Okay. You know what? I got them confused with Vanderbilt.
Sorry.
My bad.
Fair enough.
Okay. Michigan. Coming off a 13-1 record.
Yeah.
Made it to the college playoff. Won the Big Ten the Big Ten East, and then won the Big Ten playoff.
Didn't lose to a single Big Ten opponent all year.
Okay. They lost to TCU by merely
6 points.
Okay.
They had the ball in the red zone, driving with 1:41. Even after J.J. McCarthy's 2 pick sixes, they had the opportunity to win with less than 2 minutes left, and they let that opportunity slip from them.
They did.
However, Michigan returns more production than any other school in the Big Ten. More of their production returns on offense and defense. 81% of their production returns for Michigan.
That's pretty substantial.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty substantial. That's good. Michigan, they did lose some key players, though.
And they also lost a key non-player. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But we'll talk about some of the...
Okay.
Well, at least for the first 4 games, they lost a key non-player.
Well, they lost defensive tackle.
Yeah, first-round draft pick.
Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, sir.
Mozzie Smith.
Yes, sir.
They lost a really good field goal kicker.
Yeah, Jake Moody went in the 3rd round. If a kicker gets drafted before the 6th or before the 5th round, you know that he's supposed to be special.
Yeah, I think the kicking game, if they have an issue, is going to be the kicking game.
And, it's not just how effective he was from long range and how, precise he was. He was also a great kickoff artist. He led the nation in touchbacks. And when it wasn't touchback, he had the best, in the Big Ten, he absolutely had the best starting position that wasn't a touchback.
Okay.
Average starting position. So when he didn't touch it back, he got it,
Well, Michigan did lose 9 people to the NFL draft.
They did.
Plus, they lost 2 huge transfers.
Yeah, they did. They lost 2 transfers that went to the same school.
They did. A quarterback and a tight end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Neither one of those guys played after week 2 or 3, I believe, for last season, though.
Cade McNamara
is
going to Iowa, and Eric All is going to Iowa, the tight end. It's going to be interesting to see how they perform at Iowa. But JJ, all this told, losing 9 members to the NFL draft, plus some free agencies, plus some transfers. Michigan is projected to do how well this year? This coming season?
Well, they're supposed to win the Big Ten.
Win the Big Ten. Okay, you already said that. But can they've gone to the playoffs 2 years in a row.
Only one time has someone from the Big Ten not gone to the playoffs.
Okay, but I'm saying Michigan has gone 2 years in a row.
Yes, they have.
Will they do some damage once they get there? They've not won since they've gotten there yet. So is this their season?
Yeah, this I think should be the best team Jim Harbaugh has ever had in Michigan. If not this season, I mean it's tough to ask when. I mean you have Blake Corum at running back. He has the highest odds for any running back to win the Heisman this year, and he has the second highest for any non-quarterback to win the Heisman this year.
Okay, these are preseason odds.
Well, yes, the season hasn't yet to start.
Right.
So that is true. But you have him, and then his backup has the 9th best odds of any running back to win the Heisman Trophy. So that should tell you how loaded their backfield is.
Okay.
Donovan Edwards.
And we know about their offensive line historically, at least the past
two years. They're the only 2 teams have won the Jim Moore Award for the best offensive line in the country multiple times. Alabama has done it twice, and Michigan has done it twice. Michigan's done it the last 2 years.
Will they do it? Will they three-peat with the offensive line?
With the Jim Moore Award?
Yes.
I would highly doubt it. But, they have the talent to do so. I mean, they lose the center, but they return a lot of production otherwise from the offensive line. So
okay, so when you're talking football and contenders, you always got to go to the QB. JJ.
Yeah.
McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy.
Okay. Can he do it? Can he lead them to the national championship trophy?
So Michigan has NCAA title type of talent in every single position except for 2. And that would be quarterback and wide receiver. They have yet to prove it. And it's funny because quarterbacks are so dependent on their wide receivers and wide receivers are so dependent on their quarterback. But this is Cornelius Johnson's 5th year at Michigan. He had like 200-some yards against Ohio State. He broke out against them. He's going to need to step up. He's going to be their number 1 receiver with Ronnie Bell gone. Roman Wilson, he's like their speed guy. He's going to have to be used in different ways. They're going to have to like get creative the way Tennessee used Jalen Wyatt. They're going to have to figure things out because I think if J.J. McCarthy can, if he lives up to the development that they said that he has in the offseason, he's working with a new offensive coordinator and these new guys. He has a new quarterback coach. If he actually makes the strides that he's everybody's been saying that he's going to make, then yeah, absolutely. I would say that they'd be favorites to win the championship.
Okay, how good will their quarterback be? I mean, you mentioned there are 2 running backs potentially Heisman Trophy candidates. Is their quarterback who led them to a 13-1 record last year, is he a candidate for the Heisman Trophy?
He has the 11th best odds.
11th best odd, okay. So
of anybody to win the Heisman Trophy, only 10 quarterbacks ahead of him. But
so
and right now he's getting plenty of buzz as a first-round draft pick. So the thing about J.J. McCarthy is he has not taken one snap at University of Michigan as a 20-year-old. All of his snaps he's ever taken so far for Michigan has been as a 19-year-old. He didn't turn 20 until after they lost to TCU. So I think there's a lot of ability for him. I think there's a lot of growth palette. I think that he can still grow and develop into a good quarterback. I mean, he's 20. That's
so you believe he will be the man this year. It won't be just dependent on the running backs. He will also deliver.
Well, yeah, because of their schedule.
Okay.
I mean, we can talk about that in a bit. We'll talk about Harbaugh's suspension. He got 4 games for the Burgers.
You're kidding me.
He did get 4 games for the Burgers.
No, he did not. Be honest about it. Be truthful, JJ.
He got 4 games for the Burgers.
We'll talk about it now, and I'll tell you the truth about it. I'll tell you the truth about it.
Yeah, but J.J. McCarthy, I think absolutely his first. He's going to have a lot of opportunity to develop. He's not going to have a lot of. He's gonna grow into the season.
Okay, JJ, you mentioned the offense. You said that the quarterback position and the receiving position is not proven per se, even though McCarthy pretty much proved himself last year. But what about the defense?
Oh, the defense I think is going to be outstanding.
Okay.
They lose a little bit of production on the defensive line, but they get a transfer from Coastal Carolina. He's supposed to be really, really good.
Okay.
The defense, they're returning a lot. They're returning a lot in the backfield. They have a good linebacking core. They got the transfer from Nebraska at linebacker. What was his name? But yeah, I think the defense is going to be the defense should be.
Well, JJ, let's go through some of their games.
Let's do it.
We may go over a little bit our time than usual, but the first 4 games are against home East Carolina, UNLV, Bowling Green, and Rutgers. Any competition there?
According to College Football News, East Carolina is ranked as the 87th hardest, 87th best team in the country. They have UNLV at 114, Bowling Green at 115, but Rutgers is in the top 75. Checking in at 73, Rutgers.
So no competition in the first 4 home games. Okay, they hit the road, JJ. The next 2 games, Nebraska and Minnesota.
Yeah.
Any competition there?
Yeah, Minnesota's is, a very improved program since getting
Minnesota was 9-4 last year.
Yeah.
Rode the boat.
Yeah, nine wins is yeah, that's pretty good for Minnesota.
Nebraska was 4-8.
Yeah.
I expect to be much improved this year, but any real competition, they on the road now.
I mean, I think Matt Rule will be fine in Lincoln, but maybe not in his first year. I think there might be a learning curve, so I would expect that to not be an issue. Minnesota could test. Okay. Minnesota's actually producing athletes that are making it to the NFL under PJ Fleck nowadays. So yeah,
I agree. They could be a test. Home against Indiana, and then on the road at Michigan State. Michigan State's a night game in East Lansing.
Neither one of those teams, I think, were bowl eligible last year. I wouldn't be too worried.
Okay, last year Indiana was 4-8. Michigan State was 5-7.
Yep.
Okay, Purdue. Then they get Purdue at home, and then we do their last 3 games.
Purdue lost their quarterback, who was a top 4-round draft pick, and then they lost their coach. So I don't know what Purdue's going to do.
Purdue won the West last year.
They did.
Yeah.
With a different quarterback and a different coach.
Yeah.
Purdue might be okay, but I mean, I think they're a 6-6, 7-5 type of team.
Well, let's finish the season up at Penn State, at Maryland, home against Ohio State.
Yeah, they could lose 2 of those games.
Okay. Which game do you look forward to the most on this schedule?
The game against Ohio State.
Huh.
I think you could pretty much pencil that one in for Michigan.
Year. Okay. Yeah. Okay. JJ, Michigan total wins over and under for the season is 10.5. So will they go undefeated in the Big Ten like they did last year, and they will shatter this 10.5 over and under? You can go to the bank and make a lot of money, or will they not win 10.5 games in the regular season?
In the regular season, that's tough. I mean, to me, it comes down to Penn State's quarterback. Penn State has the talent at every other position, and this guy that's supposed to be replacing Sean Clifford, he's supposed to be like the next big thing. Everyone's Drew Lar. Mm-hmm. It all comes down to him. If he's the real deal, I would stay away from that. But if I don't know anything about Penn State. I'd have to look more into that. I haven't as far as I saw him play 1 game my entire life, and
Okay, and I agree with what you said 100%. I do think Sean Clifford was overrated last year and the year before that and the year before that as well, but that's neither here nor there. The last game, Ohio State. Will Ryan Day lose 3 straight times to Jim Harbaugh?
Well, Jim Harbaugh should be back for that game, assuming that his negotiated suspension only lasts for 4. I would expect him to. I mean, yes, I would expect.
You would expect Ryan Day to lose 3 in a row to Michigan.
So Devin Brown and Kyle McCord we don't know who's going to be the starting quarterback. We do know that Kyle McCord was the higher rated of the 2. He was in the same class as J.J. McCarthy, and he was ranked behind J.J. McCarthy, just a little bit behind. If one of those guys develops into, the next Dwayne Haskins, the next, CJ Stroud, Justin Fields, they've had 3 straight top 15 draft picks in the NFL, at quarterback. So if he's next, then yeah.
The last time they won the national championship, were they down to the number 3 quarterback?
Yeah, but that was back when they didn't have passing quarterbacks.
Okay. You taking the over? You taking the under? Michigan 10.5.
I'm going to take the over because I don't have certainty about Ohio State. I mean, they have the best receiving core in the country, maybe, with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Ekwa and whatever. I can't pronounce his name.
Okay.
In Bukwa, I think is how you pronounce it. But still, yeah. I mean, with the way the last two games have went, with Michigan returning 81% of their production.
If Ryan Day loses 3 in a row to Michigan, is he on the hot seat?
I think it's 100% dependent on if Gene Smith wants him to. I think Gene Smith won't be on the hot seat because he's like about 70. He can just retire whenever he wants to. I don't think so. I don't think it's with Gene Smith there. I don't think he'll be on the hot seat.
But let me ask you this: among the fans,
oh yeah,
will he be on the hot seat?
He is right now.
Okay, so he know that this is it's a bigger game for. Well, we don't know what the record's going to be, but as of right now, this is a bigger game for Ohio State than it is for U of M.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. I mean, ever since Ryan Day wanted to hang 100 on Michigan,
I remember that.
He has not beaten Michigan. So I mean, it's a much bigger deal. Like Jim Harbaugh beats Ohio State every year and still is applying for NFL jobs. So,
well, every year, 2 of the 6 times and 2 of the 8 times.
2 of the past 2. 2 of
the past 8 as well.
No, but. So he didn't interview for NFL jobs after. So only the past 2 years, like he did for the Vikings 2 years ago, and last year he also did with the Panthers. So yes.
So when he loses to Ohio State, he doesn't interview.
I guess maybe not.
Okay, so Ohio State doesn't want him to interview anymore. Okay, JJ, you mentioned something about hamburger. Can I set the story straight?
By all means, take the stage.
Okay, Jim Harbaugh allegedly will possibly have a 4-game suspension for alleged recruiting violations made in 2021. According to the allegations, Harbaugh is accused of providing false or misleading information to the NCAA. That is a Class 1 violation per the NCAA. That's their thing. If you provide false or misleading information, it's a Class 1 violation. Not only will Harbaugh be suspended for 4 games, 2 assistant coaches will be suspended for 1 game.
Offensive coordinator and the tight ends coach?
Yes, Sharon Moore and Grant Newsom. They are projected to receive 1 year suspension. But
1 game.
1 game. Man, I'm sorry. Harbaugh stuck with he told his story and he stuck with it. And he said he did not purposely mislead or provide false information. He forgot.
Yeah, I mean, if he said he forgot, I guess he. I mean, I don't think this is. I think it's much ado about nothing.
You know what, JJ? To be honest with you, we can concur. It is much to do about nothing, but the only thing is, don't say it's because of the hamburger. It's because of the cover up. I mean, that's the real deal. It's like Watergate. It wasn't about the burglary. It was about the cover up. So that's why Harbaugh, because of misleading and false information to the NCAA.
He should have got Johnny Manziel's lawyer. Manziel got suspended for half a game.
Okay. JJ, what you want to hit on, man? What else? What you want to talk about? We pretty much given our thoughts on Michigan. You've given your projection over. I'm going to go over that 10.5 as well.
No, the only thing I was going to say is with Michigan having such a loaded backfield, you would think that their title odds might be a little bit higher. I'm starting to wonder if the running back position itself might be devalued in college. Obviously, the NFL, you see Saquon Barkley, he just settled for a deal that will pay him 1/4 of what his quarterback makes, and he's a much better.
Like $14 million.
So it's $10 million, and it has the opportunity to escalate to $11 million. Okay. Meanwhile, Daniel Jones, who's like the 25th best quarterback in the NFL, is getting $40 million a year. He's on a 4-year, $160 million contract.
Okay, on the pro level, we do know that running backs have been devalued. College, they're still valuable. But let me ask you this, JJ. Blake Corn and Donovan Edwards,
Edwards, yes.
are they as good as Darren McFadden and Felix Jones as a tandem?
I definitely don't think they're as good of a trio as those two.
No, I know.
And Peyton Hill is.
But
But as a duo,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as a duo, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because Donovan Edwards is, I think, as an NFL player, but I think he has the most NFL
Okay.
talent.
Let's take college players right now.
Well, but I also think as a college player, I mean, he ran for over 200 yards against Ohio State. I think he has the ability to, catch balls out of the backfield, and he has the home run.
Okay.
He has the home run threat.
For a long time, and we're gonna get out of here pretty soon. Felix Jones and Darren McFadden had the record for a tandem in a one game. They had over 500 yards. Both of them had well over 200 yards rushing. We'll see. But JJ, we're gonna get out of here. You got anything you want to say?
All I gotta say is, Joe Burrow, please take a little bit of a discount. Leave some room so we can pay T and Jamar Chase. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Well, before I go, I want to say this. It's Wednesday. There was the Big Ten Media Day was today. Tomorrow morning, JJ, I'll say tomorrow night, Colorado will announce that they're headed to the Big 12. You heard it here. Thank you. WPS, Woo Pig Suey, can we get out of here?
Let's do it.
Let's get out.